All right, YouTube. I wanted to show you what I threw together today to try to fix this pipe. This pipe is out of my uh, Husky 150. As you see here, it's got beat up pretty badly the last 2 to 3 rides. Problem with this pipe is that it's the factory pipe. It's a bit, it's not as strong, I think, as the FMF gnarlies apparently, and they get beaten up quite badly. As you can see, the dents here, I'll try to bring it into the camera, the dents right here are really bad, and it's distorted the shape so that the header, that portion that connects to the engine right here is not lining straight up with the cylinder. It's sticking out a little bit, and it's going to end up damaging the socket that it sits in. And you can see more dents here on this side. So yeah, it's just show for the camera right there. It is really quite bad, badly dented, and it needs to be repaired or replaced. Here's another bad one right there. It needs to be repaired or replaced. But I thought I'd try to do this pneumatic pressurized system and then heating it up with some MAP gas or some acetylene over here. And the problem obviously is to seal up at both ends. And there's a couple of kits on eBay. They're from the Netherlands, and they're 60 or 70 bucks US. I wanted to piece together something myself that I could find at the local auto parts store or tool shop, and that's what I want to show you a video about, is how I did that and what I put together. So everything is assembled right now, so I'll just go real quickly through it. This right here, I'll bring it up to the camera. This right here is a bearing puller, and it's just a simple bearing puller. This is just essentially a strap. And this right here is just an aluminum disc that I made. It's a 1/4 inch aluminum, and underneath it is a piece of rubber that's sandwiched between the header pipe and the piece of aluminum. And that basically just gets clamped down by screwing this in. It pushes it down and holds it in place real nicely. It's very solid. So that seals up this side right here. So this side is closed. On this side right here, what I've done is I built a manifold, a three-way manifold, and I put a what do you call these things? Just a valve, right? So it's a ball valve, and a fitting for my compressor, so that I can connect up my compressor, turn on the air, fill it up to the desired pressure, and then shut her off and monitor the pressure with this pressure gauge. I'm aiming for 60 psi max to try to get these out when I heat them up. And that basically what I've done is I've screwed it in and threaded it into a piece of PVC plastic. It's about 1 inch deep. That fits inside this silicone hose. Sorry. That's the PVC plastic right there. That fits inside that silicone hose. It's a 1 inch silicone hose, and they're just band clamped on each end. And that's also very very solid and sturdy. It's nice to have the gauge, right? So it reads up to 100 psi. And so anyway, I've never done this before. This is going to be an experiment. I hope nothing blows up. I don't know what the lighting's going to be like, or the sound or anything, because I haven't done this in my little garage here before. So anyway, I think I should just try to fire this up and see how it goes. All right. So anyway, here's the air. as you can see, that reads 60 psi, and or it's just under. It's actually 50 psi right now, and that's fine. And when I heat this up, it'll go up 10 psi, I'm sure. And yeah, I got to be careful with this because it's going to be really hot. So I got some barbecue gloves right over here. These are the barbecue gloves, and a pair of tongs to handle this. Just so you know, I also have a cold bucket of water there in case something goes wrong. Yeah, 60 psi it's holding, getting close to 60. Oh yeah, I see it coming out now. Well, that's amazing. Holy shit. I'm going to try turning the lights off here to see if you can see it get red hot, okay? That's really hot. It's getting red hot. There we go. Brought it back to 60 psi. I don't see anything burning yet. So that's red hot there. Yeah, it's coming out nicely. I need to get it a little hammer here to hammer this a little bit. I didn't think of bringing a hammer, so I'm going to go down and grab one right now. Keep an eye on that pressure. It's getting closer to 60, and if it goes any higher than 60, I'll just bleed some off. Yeah, there she goes. She's working her way out. Yep, good. Okay, I'm happy with that. Wow, that took a while. So, as you can see, this area right here was primarily caved in. It was just a big mess. I'll try to shoot a tangent angle here. You can see the shape. I mean, the surface is not really pretty, but the shape is more or less restored. See that? The shape is more or less restored, and that's really all that matters. So that was the back side. And then the outside, the portion that faces the rocks and all that, was right here. Okay, and you know that was majorly caved in. I'll try to get a tangent shot of it right here, so you can see it's not perfect, but close to it. And here there's a bit of a, you know, it's a little bit caved in. But there's some major folds there that that I didn't think would ever come out. This was way worse than it was before. I mean, this looked like it was going to be a throwaway. So I'm happy with the way this has turned out, and I think next time around I'm going to use my acetylene torch instead of the MAP gas, because I found, well here I'll back up a bit here. So after I did all this, I went to reinstall it on the bike. And the problem was right up here where the manifold connects up. The pipe was almost a full 3/4 to an inch off. I said, how on earth did that happen? Like, there's no way this pipe can go back on. And that's when I reconnected it back into here. You know, this is a fixed point. And then when I come around, it was literally an inch in. It just, like the neck had curved. So let me show you. See this neck portion right here? It actually curled in due to all this heat work. So I thought, okay, well that's a disaster. How am I going to fix that? And unfortunately I didn't film it, but I'll tell you what I did real simply. I used an acetylene torch this time, and I heated this section up right here that got red hot all around, and I clamped this whole thing up into a big wooden vise. And what I did is, with a big wooden dowel, as I was heating up with one hand, I would pull or push the manifold connection down, or in whatever direction I needed to go, and it slowly bent, and I was actually able to bend it a good 1/2 inch to 5/8 of an inch, and then with a little bit of tweaking I got it to fit perfectly. So right now this pipe fits perfectly where it's supposed to. Now I haven't installed it yet because the O-rings, I have one of them here. Oops, there we go. I got one of them right there, as you can see. That's a whole O-ring, but the other one is broken, so I have to go tomorrow and pick up a couple new O-rings, and then I'll get them on here and do the reinstallation, which should go pretty smoothly. Okay guys, so now it's time to mount this pipe back on the bike. I did go out and purchase some new O-rings here. I'm going to use just one of them. I'm going to have 2 as a spare. One of the ones, the original ones, is still good, and put a new one on there. Just going to quickly wipe one down, and this will protect, of course, the pipe from vibrating against the cylinder and damaging the cylinder with vibration. You don't want that, because that's a major repair. So it goes on like that. You can see the other one goes on like that. Okay. Yeah, that feels good. Make sure they're pushed in nicely because they stick out when they're new, and just roll them in. Make sure they're in there so that they don't get pinched when you're sliding it into the cylinder port. Yeah, so as you see, the O-rings are on. Really important to have those in. Never forget that. And like I said before, after I heated up all these areas right here, the whole pipe distorted, and when I would put it back on, it literally, like this, it literally came over to the side, and it wouldn't fit in there anymore. It was like this completely over to the side. It had folded in. So I heated this whole section up here and brought it across. Tilt that down a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to try to get this in. See, right now it lines up beautifully. God, I'm so happy with that. Just can't believe that worked out. Here we go. Everything's lining up. All the bolt holes are lining up. Everything's lined up beautifully here. So, first thing I want to do is get these springs back in. You need one of these. There's no way you can do this by hand. Don't fight it with pliers. It's just crazy. You can also lose an eye. There we go. So, like that, you pull back on it. Hopefully I'm not blocking anything. That's one side. Pull back on it. Oh, geez, there. The other side. Wear glasses when you're doing this. Ask me how I know. It's like I can. I wasn't able to, interesting thing, I wasn't able to reach this screw in here because this pipe was so badly bent. I had to kind of go in sideways. So it's nice to see that I can go straight in now again. amazing how much damage you can do. You don't see it, but it distorts this whole thing. There you go. So that end is done, and then one more screw right up here. That's this guy right there. Goes right up here. That's nice and solid. That's great. Right, so there you go. See, it lines up nicely. Screw is in there. Other screws in right there. This is the SXS bash plate, by the way. This one is a one-piece, extends underneath the linkage. Right there. That is very nice to have a one-piece setup, like so. It's awesome. Don't have to mess around with you know, multiple parts. And yeah, so now I'm going to reinstall the guard, I guess. One right there, another one there, another one right underneath there, and one right at the other end. So that's it. So you can see how it sits up there real nicely. The header pipe is right up against, flush up against the cylinder there, which is really nice. All the springs are in, and yeah, there she is. So I'm not too sure whether or not this gives you much protection, but anyway, it's we'll see. It's better than what there was there before, which was nothing. This here is certainly way better than it was before. This was almost entirely caved in, and now you can see that it's you know, kind of out again. A little bit of a dent in there, but I'm not too concerned about that. And next time around I'll actually get the acetylene on that, and I think it might come out nicely. And yeah, there you go. The rest of the bike is good. And yeah, I'm gonna take her out tomorrow and see how she does. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time.